Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chris Lee, alongside, as always, with Jeremy Sadowski, and we're here to bring you exciting high school football action. 2017 Mustang Football is brought to you by the Manhattan Beach Athletic Foundation. Live from Cooper Field at Waller Stadium in beautiful Manhattan Beach, California, it's Mustang Football 2017. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chris Lee, alongside, as always, with Jeremy Sadowski, and we're here to bring you exciting high school football action as your Maricosta Mustangs take on the Peninsula Panthers. Of course, this is the first Bay League contest for both teams. Mustangs come into this contest 1-4, a bit of a rough preseason for the Mustangs, but all four losses on the road. Mustangs definitely traveled a lot this preseason. Their one win was a home game here at Waller Stadium against West Torrance. So let's see, Mustangs may be 1-4, but they are 1-0 at Waller Stadium. So let's see if they can continue that home winning streak tonight. Meantime, they take on the Peninsula Panthers, coming in with a 3-2 record on this season. So first Bay League game for both teams. Jeremy, talk to me about what impresses you about the Peninsula Panthers, and what can we expect from them tonight?
Well, Chris, you mentioned the long history the Mustangs have with Peninsula, going back to the old Ocean League days when we played. Back then they were the Rolling Hills Titans, and Peninsula is a Division 10 team, and Maricosta, of course, is Division 6. And Peninsula a couple years ago struggled to keep their program alive, but it seems to be flourishing this season, as you mentioned, that 3-2 non-league record. So you mentioned it, Mustangs are undefeated here at home, hoping to keep that alive. Granted, they've only played one game out of their first 5 here at Waller Stadium. But again, that was preseason. Preseason's over. This is Bay League action, and we start from fresh tonight here at Cooper Field.
Of course, this Mustangs offense has been a little inconsistent. Part of that could be an adjustment to a new offensive system. Mustangs have ran the spread offense for quite a few years now, including ran by current quarterback Reed Vibre, who seemed to do very well in the spread offense. This year, the Mustangs have switched to a more traditional I formation, fullback, tailback type of offense. A little bit more classic smash mouth type offense. Of course, that's something that Jeremy, you and I are familiar with. Coach Larry Petrol used and was a big fan of the I formation back in our playing days, but nowadays, by current high school standards, it's definitely not as common of an offense. Mustangs have seemed to struggle a little bit adjusting to that formation. What can we expect to see from the Mustangs tonight, Jeremy, offensively? Do you think they are going to continue to make strides towards being more effective in that I formation?
Yeah, Chris, you mentioned that I formation and the fact that Reed Vibre is comfortable in that spread formation. I think we'll see a bit of both. We started to see Coach Morrow implement more of the spread last week versus South Hills. So again, with preseason, maybe he was experimenting with the I formation to give different looks as we enter into Bay League action. It'll be interesting to see what Coach Morrow does go with here in the Bay League.
Yeah, of course, like you mentioned, Coach Morrow always known for changing and tweaking his offense, whether that's stylistically, whether that's personnel. just as the Bay League starts. It'll be interesting to see if he does make any changes here in this first Bay League contest. Meantime, the captains are out at midfield here, so we are moments away from kicking off the Mustangs Bay League schedule. Mustangs defense has definitely had its fair share of struggles as well as shown some bright moments. Of course, the Mustangs, as typically led at some point over the last 10 plus years, but a Tavai is right in the middle of that Mustangs defense. You can always count on a Tavai being part of the Mustangs, particularly defensively. So let's see if the defense can really turn that corner tonight. We've also seen good action by Peck as well as Fisher. They've really come around. Josh Joe has played really well. Everson Franklin has had a great season defensively for the Mustangs. So no question the talent is there. Let's just see if tonight they can really put a lot of pressure on that Peninsula Panther offense and really come up with some key stops.
Yeah, Chris, I agree. The Mustangs definitely will have to be more consistent on both sides of the ball. Like you said, getting those key stops and finishing off drives on the offensive side. I think that's been their biggest struggle so far this season is finishing off those offensive drives.
Well, this one is underway. Of course, the Mustangs in their home green uniforms, Peninsula, in the road white with the gold helmets. A good return by the Panthers to get this one started off here. So Peninsula takes over first and 10. Ball spotted at the 45-yard line. I formation for the Panthers. Speaking of I formation, that one is a run right up the middle. Panthers get about 5 on the play, so it's 2nd and 5 coming up. And in motion. Panthers again on the ground. It looked like that was Hand with the carry.
Number 8 again for the Mustangs. Number 21.
3rd down and 2 coming up. And Mustangs read this one perfectly. Panthers are stopped. Joe and Fisher involved in that one, so it's 4th down and 4 coming up. 2-yard loss on the play, plenty time for the Panthers.
Yeah, great job by the Mustang defense to get that key stop on this first drive of the game.
And it is a fair catch called for by the Mustangs. So let's see what the Mustangs offense can do here. First time on the field. First possession for the Mustangs, and it is complete. LeBray out to Tavai, who is typically the Mustangs fullback, but spread out wide left. Simple hitch pattern worked well for the Mustangs. First down, yardage on the play. LeBray hands off, and just tripped up was Vashon Hill.
Number 2, Vashon Hill, drives up for 3 yards. Cheerleaders.
Still got about 4 on the play, but a holding call against the Mustangs will send them 10 yards back.
Holding on the Mustangs. Mustangs will bring the ball back to the 8.
LeBray now completes that one to Evanson Franklove. Simple slant pattern works for the Mustangs to set them up with a 2nd and 6. So Mustangs able to make up the lost yardage for the holding call and then some. Meantime now it's a QB keeper. LeBray breaks a couple of tackles and gets out to the 35-yard line. 3rd and short coming up.
Chris, last couple of weeks, Reed Verbrey has definitely stepped up the rushing attack for the Mustangs.
LeBray fakes the handoff on the end around to Franklove, keeps it. It's going to be close. Let's see where they spot this one. And they did give him just enough for a Mustangs first down. Again, Tavai spread out wide left. This time, Verbrey fakes that direction and incomplete. Franklove, the intended target. Verbrey in shotgun. Hands off. And finally brought down was Tavai. That time Tavai had shifted back to the backfield in his normal position. 2nd and about 4 coming up. Again, we are here in the opening quarter. No score. Mustangs' first offensive possession, and it looks like Mustangs going to get caught here with an offside penalty. So that will bring them 5 yards back.
Yeah, these Mustang penalties have definitely been drive killers so far this season.
Verbrey now in shotgun. Rolls left, he pressure, and down he goes. That's a huge loss on the play. Sack for the Panthers defense. 4th down and punting now for the Mustangs.
Number 41,
Tavai back to punt. It's a low punt, but oh boy, takes one heck of a Mustang bounce. That ball ends up rolling down and is down at the 13-yard line. Great punt by Tavai.
Yeah, Chris, that rugby style definitely is a low kick that isn't fielded that often and sometimes gets a real good bounce.
Number 7, quarterback Aiden Kuykendall.
Panthers keep this one on the ground. Kokendale with the carry, quarterback for the Panthers. Again, Jeremy, I know you talked about it a little bit earlier, but yeah, definitely a very interesting story with the Panthers a couple of years ago, as some of you fans may remember. Panthers literally had to shut it down for a season. They only had a very small number of players on the roster as it was, and then with a couple of key injuries, they were just at a stage where, if I remember right, they were only fielding about 16 players at one point. And for the safety of the players, of course, the players themselves wanted to continue on in the season, but the administration, for the player safety aspect, felt it best to just shut that season down. Of course, there were rumors at that time that that may be it for the Panthers football period, but good to see that they were able to recover and still stay together as a program. And like you mentioned, 3-2 coming into the season. Good to see the Panthers still an active part of this Bay League. Meantime, Kokendale completes on the sideline on the 2nd down play, short of the 1st down marker. So it's going to bring up a third and short, third and about one.
Just a little extra on that Palos Verdes football situation. In the mid-90s, Palos Verdes High School had to shut down because of low enrollment. And at that time, Peninsula just dominated South Bay football. And then once Palos Verdes opened up in the early 2000s, Peninsula's football team struggled, and Palos Verdes has now become a powerhouse in the South Bay, led by former Mustang quarterback and coach Guy Gardner. So it's been quite a roller coaster ride for the both of the schools up in Palos Verdes.
And of course, that dates back all the way back to the old Ocean League days. So a lot of history between these two schools. Meantime, on 3rd and 1, the Panthers get the first down and then some. Nice carry by the Panthers, number 8, Hahn.
Taken down by here, 22, Thompson.
Shotgun for Cokendale. He looks left, and that is complete. But oh, what a big hit by the Mustangs defense. That was Frank Love coming up with a monster hit there. Quick stop by Frank Love forces a second and long situation for the Panthers.
Yeah, Chris, Frank Love has been really aggressive in the Mustang defensive backfield, coming up and making some great tackles on the running and on the passing plays for the Mustangs.
Meantime, Hahn for the Panthers gets about 7, so it's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 situation here. Nice, slow, methodical drive here by the Panthers. They've been able to drive this one from the 13-yard line all the way down to the Mustangs 35 now. And they do appear to get that first down. Another nice run by Hahn. So it is indeed a first down, 1st and 10. Panthers keep this drive going.
Yeah, Mustangs are going to need a big defensive stop here.
Coconut, almost intercepted. That was a high throw by Cokendale off the hands of his receivers and almost intercepted by the Mustangs. Either way, it falls incomplete, so it's 2nd down now. Man in motion. There's the snap. Cokendale looks to the right, and that is complete. Let's see where they spot this one. That is close to another Panthers first down. Rosas with the reception. Indeed, it is another first down. And this time, Panthers running the read option, but Cokendale fumbled the ball, able to recover it. But he had a little bit of daylight there. Could have had at least a good 6-7 yard gain. Instead, it was a 2-yard loss. And now the Mustangs have pressure and throw him down. That's a sack for the Mustangs D.
The ball
Big time sack by the Mustang D to help slow up this Panther defense, as that will end the first quarter. Characters, Los Angeles sports teams, and lots more. Register or donate today by logging on to SketchersFriendshipWalk.com. Pre-registration is $30 and $35 on the day of the event. Thank you for going the extra mile for children with special needs and education.
Right, and we are all set to begin this second quarter. Of course, this game is notched at 0 so far. There's only been 3 offensive possessions here in this game. This is the third right here, the second one by the Peninsula Panthers, and it's been a nice drive. They are deep into Mustang territory, so let's see if the Mustangs can come up with a key defensive stop, although they just got a sack of Panthers quarterback Kokendale. So that's certainly the right direction to go for sure. A big loss on the play. Panthers in shotgun versus Mustangs in their home green uniforms. Panthers, Kokendale under pressure, stops, plants, throws into double coverage and incomplete. Good job downfield there. Looked like that was the Mustangs' Roman Peck with the coverage. Field goal attempt coming up here. It's a 43-yard attempt for the Panthers, and a flag comes in. It's encroachment against the Mustangs, so that will move the Panthers up 5 yards. It still is not enough to give them the first down. It's still 4th down and 10. But it does move the Panthers up 5 additional yards, so now it's a 37-yard attempt. The kick is blocked. Mustangs get the block. And let's take a look at that one again. The field goal is no good.
Yeah, Chris, let's take another look at this field goal attempt here by Peninsula, and it is blocked right up the middle, and that was a great job by the Mustang Special Unit to keep the Panthers scoreless here early on in the second quarter.
So the Mustangs take over 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Verbrey on the roll right completes to a diving Mustang there. Looked like that may have been Franklin with the reception. Either way, it's a short gain of about 3, maybe 4 yards. Verbrey now on the handoff. Mustangs pounded forward. Get about 2 on the play, so it's going to bring up a 3rd and short situation. Mustangs read Verbrey, looks left. Now he rolls left, stops, plants, throws back in the middle of the field. Dangerous throw. Incomplete. Ooh, very risky throw. Reed Verbrey throwing against his body there on the roll left. But luckily falls incomplete, so it's 4th and punting. Of course, Jonah Tavai on his last punt had kicked quite a doozy that pinned the Panthers deep into their own territory. So let's see what he can do this time after the penalty. It's a encroachment call against the Panthers, and that will actually give the Mustangs a 1st down because it was a 4th and 5 situation. Boy, what a break for the Mustangs. First and 10 now. Let's see if the Mustangs can capitalize on that break there. That is Verbrey to Everson Franklove. And that will be enough for another Mustangs 1st down. "12 yards on the play. Now it's Verbrey. Ooh, boy, had a receiver slip that looked like that was Kellenbach slip. Peninsula jumped the pattern, but that one luckily falls incomplete. That could have easily been a pick 6. So Mustangs getting some good luck so far on this drive. Meantime, on the end around, that one goes to the Mustangs. Fisher, who gets about 15 on the play, so it's 1st and 10 Mustangs.
Yeah, that one was right out of the playbook of South Hills High School, last week's opponent.
Yeah, that simple little toss play to the end around. Meantime, Verbre in the pocket, throws downfield, and incomplete. So 2nd and 10 coming up again. Of course, South Hills, like you mentioned, Jeremy, ran that play a lot. The advantage of it basically works like an end around, but the advantage is with that being technically a forward pass. If there's any miscommunication or a bad pitch or anything, if that ball hits the ground, it's simply incomplete versus a live fumble. So let's see if the Mustangs keep that one in their playbook. Meantime, that is complete again to the Mustangs, number 20, Fisher. Jackson Fisher with 2 first-down catches on this drive. Mustangs have a little something cooking here on offense. Verbre on 1st and 10 throws, and oh no, that is intercepted. I spoke one play too soon. Everson Franklove giving chase, but that is going to be a touchdown on the pick 6 by the Panthers.
Yeah, that was a tough play for the Mustang offense there, Chris. Mustangs were starting to drive again, and then a tough pick 6 will give the Panthers here a 7-0 lead here in the second quarter.
A rare interception thrown by Verbre. Verbre does a really good job of keeping his interception totals low. Did last year as well. So a rare interception, but that one is picked off by Gethringer and returned for that touchdown, giving the Panthers this early lead. Let's see if the Mustangs can respond with some poise here and turn the page, as they say. Mustangs 1st and 10. Handoff goes to, looked like that was Bashan Hill out of the backfield. Indeed it was. Got about 3 on the play, so 2nd and 7 coming up. Abreu on the low snap. Able to pick it up, but oh boy, he is drilled, and it looks like the Panthers have jumped on the ball, but it looks like, are they going to call that one a fumble? It looks like they are. Reed Verbre was hammered with a blitz right up the middle of the field. Tough to really blame Reed on that one, but either way, it's another turnover. Panthers 1st and goal. Stopped about 2 yards short, thanks in large part to the Mustangs' Rob Fine. 2nd and goal coming up.
Yeah, Finney has been an excellent defensive player for the Mustangs so far this season.
Meantime, Hahn with the carry, tries to cut back up the middle, but stopped nicely. I see Mustangs Fisher involved in that tackle, so it's 3rd down coming up now. 3rd and goal from the 3. Kukendale on the QB keeper, lunges forward. It looks like he may be in, and indeed he is. Touchdown Panthers. Panthers capitalize here now on 2 Mustang turnovers. Able to punch both in for the touchdown. Point after attempt, a flag does come in.
Definitely is a bad break for the Mustangs. Those 2 turnovers and converted for touchdowns by the Panthers. So the Mustangs are definitely in a deep hole here in the start of the second quarter.
As you can see, the winds are strong. That is any factor here in tonight's game. Anytime we are getting the official call, it's offside against the Mustangs. Point after attempt now is up, it's high, it's straight, and it is good. Panthers now lead this contest 14-0 here in the second quarter.
Mustangs definitely need to rebound here, Chris. Hopefully get some points on the board and at least get some momentum going into halftime.
Meantime, that one is through the back of the end zone, touchback. So with 6:55 left to go here in the second quarter, the Mustangs take over at the 20, first and 10. Mustangs start off with a run by Rashawn Hill, gets down to the 25, so it's a 5-yard gain, second and 5 coming up.
Number 15, Nick Carpino.
Looks like Mustangs have gone with Carpino here at quarterback.
Yeah, it appears Verbrae might have been shooken up on that hit that resulted in a fumble last drive.
Yeah, it was a blitz right up the middle. And boy, did Reed Verbrae really take one heck of a hit there. Hope he's okay. Meantime, Carpino completes that one for 6 yards, and he only needed 5 to get that first down, so it's first and 10 Mustangs. Carpino with the nice pass completion there. Man in motion. Mustangs keep it on the ground, run right up the middle. Good power running by the Mustangs. We get about 6 on the play, so it's second, and I'll call it a long 4 coming up here for the Mustangs. Carpino hands off again, and this time it's Tavai. Oh my goodness, bowling balling his way down to the 48. He bounced off of at least a good 6 would-be tacklers there by the Panthers. First and 10, nice run by Jonah Tavai. Three receivers for the Mustangs. Carpino looks for the quick slant. Ooh, Franklin kicking himself in the rear there for not being able to come up with that reception, as he knew if he had been able to pull that one in, that was going to be a big play for the Mustangs. Meantime, on second and 10, stopped at the line of scrimmage is Hill. Of course, Mustangs still without Malachi McMahon. So I do expect to see Rashawn Hill getting the bulk of the carries here for the Mustangs. Oh my goodness, what a monster block by Tavai, and Frank Glove comes up with the catch. Another great throw by Carpino.
Yeah, let's take a look at this play. You called it. What a monster block by Jonah Tavai here, coming up right there. And Carpino has all day to find Franklin, who makes an incredible juggling catch on the sideline and gets possession. And the Mustang offense is getting a little bit of momentum here.
Yeah, I think the coaching staff was loving that catch about as much as Franklin was. They were definitely making sure the officials knew he had pulled that one in and had his feet in bounds at the point of reception. So Mustangs, with 2:47 left to go in this first half, finally getting some momentum going here on offense. Carpino really seeing his first primary action here for the Mustangs at quarterback, doing fairly well so far.
Number 32.
Mustangs get about 4 on the play, so it's 2nd and 6 coming up. Hill with the carry. Gets to the 25-yard line. Looks like where they're going to spot that one.
Once again, number 2.
And
Hill for the Mustangs.
if that's the case, that is enough for another Mustangs first down. Again, Mustangs currently trail 14-0, but Mustangs with a nice drive going on here. Play action. Carpino stops, plants, throws, and no one is there. A little miscommunication between Carpino and his receiver. So that is incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up. Mustang coaching staff showing plenty of confidence in Carpino. Definitely giving him an opportunity to throw here. Meantime, Hill with a nice run up the middle. Looks like there is a injured Mustang. Let's hope he's okay. Meantime, it's 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, that's Mustang offensive lineman number 70, Tyler Harkenreiter here, appearing to be a little hobbled as he gets some assistance walking off the field. Hopefully Tyler will be back later this game for the Mustangs.
Of course, as you mentioned, Mustangs already without Malachi McMahon, and then now starting quarterback Reed Verbrey out currently as well after taking that big hit. So certainly hope Mustangs don't lose anyone else in this contest. So 4th down, meantime, 4th and 1 coming up. Got to assume the Mustangs are going to go for it here, just knowing how Coach Don Morrill calls his games. But 56 seconds left. This is a key possession here for the Mustangs. This is definitely a drive where you want to finish in the end zone, not with the field goal. And the Mustangs do get that first down and then some. Jonah Tavai pounds his way forward right up the middle of the field and is able to get the Mustangs to a first and goal situation.
It appears that Jonah Tavai is shaking up a little bit here. Hopefully he'll be okay. You mentioned the other injuries that the Mustangs are dealing with. In addition to Reed Verbrey in this game and Malachi McMahon, you also have Cole Trejo, who's been out for a couple weeks. Hopefully he'll be back in the next week or so, in addition to Eddie Bergen-Donovan, who is dealing with a sore shoulder too. So a lot of key Mustang players have definitely been injured so far this season, as we see Jonah Tavai coming off on his own power.
And of course, Bergen-Donovan showing very good promise for the Mustangs at the tight end position. Cole Trejo was off to a hot start at the wide receiver position, and Malachi McMahon was blistering up out of the backfield as a running back. So 3 key positions there for this Mustangs offense that have really seen a lot of missed time due to injury. So definitely puts a lot of pressure on the rest of the Mustangs. If there's any one position, though, they have a lot of depth at, it's at running back, as we see Hill get the carry there. 2nd down coming up.
Yeah, it's again why it's so important for everyone on the team to be working hard constantly. You never know when your number is going to be called.
So Mustangs, Frank Love shifts to the backfield, ends up running a route out of the backfield, was slightly open, but Carpino was under immediate pressure, so it's incomplete. It's 3rd down coming up now. I formation, Tavai and Hill behind Carpino. The ball goes to Hill on the counter play. He has a hole and has himself a Mustangs touchdown. With under a minute left to go in this half, the Mustangs finally get on the board and make this one a one-score game.
Yeah, the Mustangs really needed this touchdown to get that momentum going into halftime, to get that taste of those 2 turnovers and the points that resulted them out of their mouth.
Point after attempt is up high straight, and it is good. So the score of this contest is 14-7. Panthers still with that lead, but the Mustangs finally getting on the board, making this a contest. Anytime the squib kick, it does look like that was recovered by the Panthers. I will assume that they're going to just simply take a knee. And indeed, that is what they do. So the Panthers more than happy to go into halftime, go into that locker room with a 14-7 lead, and that's exactly where we're at. Fans, stay tuned for a special halftime presentation that will be right back for second half action as your Mustangs trail 7-14.
The 9th annual Skechers Peer-to-Peer Friendship Walk is on Sunday, October 29th at the Manhattan Beach Pier. The annual event brings together all walks of life for one common purpose: to support children with special needs and public education. The charity walk includes performances, celebrities, vendor exhibits, a kids' fun zone, appearances by Nickelodeon characters, Los Angeles sports teams, and lots more. Register or donate today by logging on to SkechersFriendshipWalk.com. Pre-registration is $30 and $35 on the day of the event. Thank you for going the extra mile for children with special needs and education.
All right, we are back and getting ready to start the second half. Mustangs, of course, currently trail the Peninsula Panthers by a score of 14-7. But the Mustangs really easily could have had this one tied up. They had a long drive in that first half that ended with an interception. They had marched deep into Peninsula territory, but the interception turned out to actually be a pick six. So that was a 14-point swing there by the Mustangs. Unfortunately, things could have gotten even worse after a monster hit on quarterback Reed Verbrey that not only knocked the ball loose, but knocked him out of the game, at least temporarily. It does sound like Reed may be able to come back in the second half here. We'll have to wait and see. But the Mustangs showed good resiliency at the end of that first half, marching with a long drive downfield, which ended in a touchdown by running back Vashon Hill. Jeremy, Mustangs showed a lot of heart at the end of that second quarter. What can we expect to see from them here in this third quarter?
Well, Chris, I'd expect to see more of that smash mouth attack that we saw late in the second quarter. Again, with some sporadic passing, and hopefully this Mustang offense can just overpower this Peninsula defense. But we'll see what happens here in the second half. Mustangs did get the momentum late in the second quarter.
This Mustangs start off on the ground, and oh, what a big run. Hill breaks loose. Still going, finally knocked down at about the 37-yard line. Let's see specifically where they spotted, but huge run here by Vashon Hill, the senior, to get this Mustangs offense going on a great note as they start the third quarter. Carpino still in at quarterback, hands off to Hill again. Another nice run. Spins, pounds, and drives his way forward to about the 32. Hill's come out very motivated here, trying to get this Mustangs back into this contest himself.
Yeah, Chris, definitely picked off right where he left off in the first half.
Of course, Hill got that touchdown for the Mustangs right before halftime. Meantime, Carpino completes that pass.
Yeah, great change of play by the Mustang coaching staff to realize they had the Peninsula Panthers expecting run, and a nice completion by Carpino.
Each time now on 1st and 10, it's the delayed handoff. Jonah Hill pounding his way, breaks 3 tackles and dives forward into the end zone. Touchdown Mustangs. What a run by Jonah Tavai.
Yeah, Jonah Tavai was super bad on that play, Chris. Let's take another look at this, as he was not going to be stopped on this run. As let's count him, he breaks 1 tackle, 2 tackles, 3, 4. Let's see, we'll get a 5th in there for good measure. 5 broken tackles, and he is still going.
Yeah, Jonah Tavai, some powerful running shown by him there, literally running over players on his way into the end zone. Like I've said before, he's a bowling ball when he is running downfield. I do not want to be any defensive back anywhere near that bowling ball running down the alleyway at me.
Yeah, and when he gets downfield, you know he's gaining momentum. You don't want to be in the way at the end of that run.
For sure. So meantime, the Mustangs now back into this contest quickly. Again, going to show you how that important getting a touchdown on that last possession of the first half was versus a field goal. Now they are suddenly tied here with the Panthers. Kokendale, quarterback for the Panthers, scrambles left, is brought down just past the line of scrimmage, but still a nice stop for the Mustangs D. Let's see if this defense can keep this momentum going. Three receivers for Kokendale. He looks right, throws right, and that is complete. That was number 5, Rosas, who had a big catch in the first half as well. Comes up with another one there, but good job of the Mustangs to stop Rosas 2 yards shy of the first hand marker, so it's 3rd and 2. And let's see where they spot this one. It was Hahn with the carry.
Number 8, 22 in on the tackle for the Mustangs.
And it looks like he is going to be short, so it is 4th down.
This brings up a 4th and 1
Panthers.
situation for the Panthers.
And they will punt.
Back to kick for the Panthers, number 20. Aiden Lee.
Flag on the play. And is against the Panthers.
It appears that the Panthers might have been awarded a timeout to avoid that delay of game call, as it will Panthers will punt here with 4th down and 2 yards to go.
Number 20, Aiden Lee. Back deep for the Mustangs. Number 21.
Good snap. Good blocking. Not a very high punt, but does take a Panthers roll and rolls out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. So the Mustangs will take over, though, 1st and 10. With this score tied at 14 apiece here in the third quarter. High formation, Carpino still in at quarterback, hands off. Another good run there by Vashon Hill.
Vashon Hill coming over the left side. Panthers, number 18.
2nd and 5 coming up. Carpino hands off again to Hill. He may have enough for a first down. Let's see where they spot it.
Hill turning up the middle. Taken down by number 9 of the Panthers.
And indeed that is just barely enough. Mustangs get the first down on the run by Hill. There's that toss on the end around there. And oh boy, what a run by Everson Franklin. First down, Mustangs.
Actually, I believe that was number 20, Fisher, again with another nice play around on that end around. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Franklin doing that same play also at some point during this game or in the future.
And unfortunately, that one is coming back. There was a penalty on the Mustangs. Let's get the call here. Likely a holding call against Maricosta. Actually, it turned out to be illegal hands to the face, so that will move the Mustangs back deep. First down being repeated here. See Jonah Tavai in the backfield. Tavai gets the carry, pounds and drives his way out to the 40-yard line.
Number 41, Jonah. 2nd and 4.
High formation. Carpino, hands off. Hill with the carry, cuts upfield. Vashon Hill does a good job on those outside runs of cutting upfield as soon as he gets daylight. He doesn't try to continue to stretch it further and further out. He sees that daylight and he cuts it upfield immediately. Meantime, on the first down carry, Hill stopped after about a 3-yard gain, so 2nd and 7 coming up.
2nd and 8.
On the handoff. Nice run out there by the Mustangs. Vashon Hill, and look at that, Jeremy. It looks like quarterback Reed Vabre coming back into this contest. Interesting, they would bring it back out here mid-drive. A little surprised they didn't let Carpino at least finish off this drive, but obviously Vabre is feeling just fine. First play ran, calls a QB keeper, and gets the Mustangs to first down.
Yeah, great play call by Coach Morrow to utilize Reed Vabre's eagerness to get back into the game to pick up that first down.
So meantime, Mustangs again run that end around to Fisher. I guess if it's not broke, why fix it, right? Continue to call that play until the Panthers can show that they can stop it. Mustangs, Bray on the QB keeper again, gets all the way down to, looks like about the 22-yard line. We'll call it the 23. 1st and 10 Mustangs after another good run by Bray. This time, looks like Carpino back in. Hill stopped after maybe a yard gain, so 2nd and long coming up for the Mustangs. Indeed, Carpino back into this contest. For Sean Hill, another big carry. For Sean Hill having himself one heck of a ball game. 3rd down and short coming up. 3rd and 2. But Brave now back in at quarterback, pounds his way forward, still going and gets into the end zone. Oh boy, what a run by Reed Bray. I thought that was Tavai for a moment there, the way he was bouncing off defenders. Didn't stop until he got into the end zone. Touchdown, Mustangs.
Yeah, Chris, let's take another look at this play as we see Reed Bray breaking 1, 2, 3, 4 tackles on his way into the end zone. Just like Tavai, he was not going to be denied on that play. And the Mustangs are definitely on fire here coming out and in the second half.
So Mustangs once trailed this game 14-0. Have now scored 3 unanswered touchdowns. Point after attempt is up, ice rating good, so the Mustangs now lead this one 21-14 here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and I'd like to remind the fans that you can get more information on our Mustang football broadcasts on Facebook, keywords Maricosta High School football players, and also tune in to the YouTube channel, the Maricosta Football YouTube channel, and you can follow us on Twitter at Jeremy Sadowski and at Costa Football. And again, we are giving away the Jason Sadowski Scholarship starting annually this year. Will be given to a Mustang senior. So if you'd like to donate to the Jason Sadowski Scholarship Fund, you can log on to mbx.org, mbxfoundation.org for further information.
Meantime, on the 2nd down play for the Panthers, looks like they're going to audible here at the line of scrimmage. 3 receivers set for the Panthers. And that, did he get his feet in looking? And no, incomplete. Cookendale made a nice throw, but receiver not able to get his feet inbound. So it's 3rd and long for the Panthers. 3rd and 8. Cookendale under pressure, and down he goes. That's a sack for the Mustangs defense. Jonah Tavai right in the middle of things.
Yeah, Chris, Jonah Tavai is a man on a mission this game. This late in the first quarter or late in the second quarter and second half, he has just been on fire as he just was not going to be denied on that pass rush until he brought the quarterback down.
So Tavai really being an impact player here for the Mustangs in the second half, particularly got the Mustangs a touchdown run that made this one 14-14 all, and now Tavai comes up with a huge sack, forcing a Panthers punt. Of course, the way this contest has been going, the ground attack being such a dominant feature in this game, there's not been a lot of offensive possession. So if the Mustangs can somehow extend this lead to a 2-score lead, that could be huge. As so far, both defenses have done a good job of preventing the big play. Meantime, Carpino throws and completes. At the end of the day, Mustangs don't get the forward progress. A little surprised about that, but still a 3-yard gain, so 2nd and 7 coming up. Personally felt like the officials should have spotted that one about another 3 yards further downfield, but meantime, Hill breaks a couple of tackles, fights his way forward, gets back to close to the line of scrimmage. It will, though, looks like it's going to be about a loss of half a yard on the play. That's going to knock them back down to the original line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 10 coming up. And that is how this quarter is going to end. We'll be right back for the 4th and final quarter. Mustangs lead 21-14.
The 9th annual Skechers Peer-to-Peer Friendship Walk is on Sunday, October 29th at the Manhattan Beach Pier. The annual event brings together all walks of life for one common purpose: to support children with special needs and public education. The charity walk includes performances, celebrities, vendor exhibits, a kids' fun zone, appearances by Nickelodeon characters, Los Angeles sports teams, and lots more. Register or donate today by logging on to SkechersFriendshipWalk.com. Pre-registration is $30 and $35 on the day of the event. Thank you for going the extra mile for children with special needs and education.
And we are back and set to start this 4th and final quarter with the Mustangs leading 21-14. Again, this Mustang squad was down 14-0 in the second quarter, but after a late touchdown just before halftime and now 2 third-quarter scores, Mustangs went from trailing 14-0 to now leading 21-14.
Yeah, Chris, it's been quite a turnaround here in this game to start off Bay League action, which you mentioned when they started off down 14-0 late in that second quarter. It was looking pretty bad for the Mustangs, but then they started to believe in themselves and really start pounding the rock, and they have really taken control over this game ever since.
Yeah, you mentioned Mustangs pounding the rock here. All 3 Mustang touchdowns on the ground, and by 3 different people. One by Hill, one by Tavai, and one by Verbrae. So impressive rushing performance here by the Mustangs.
Yeah, and as you just saw right there, Fisher has been doing a admirable job on those end arounds all night for the Mustangs.
It creates a 4th and short situation, and Verbrae calls the QB keeper, but it does look like a flag has been thrown. And it's encroachment on the defense, so that will give the Mustangs a free first down. So the way Reed Verbrae has been running the ball, Mustangs may have preferred to just let him run free there. Meantime, Mustangs, Verbrae does keep that one. Just barely tripped up. Holds Verbrae to about a 2-yard gain. 2nd and 8 coming up. Mustangs in shotgun. Verbrae on the run again. Pulled down at the 42-yard down, so 3rd down coming up. 3rd and 7. Three receivers to the right of Reed Rabre. It's a low snap, but he takes it. He rolls right. He stops. He plants. He throws, and it is incomplete. So 4th down coming up here for the Mustangs. 4th and 7. Mustangs are always likely to go for it, but this time they will elect to punt. Mustangs playing the field position game here on this one.
Yeah, some confusion there on the Mustang punt squad.
Yeah, always tricky to get that right personnel out there. Meantime, the Tabai punt bounces into the end zone, so it's going to be a touchback. The Peninsula Panthers take over here. 1st and 10 at the 20, trailing by a touchdown. It's a QB keeper, but Cookendale thrown down quickly. Looked like Fisher involved in that one, as well as maybe Jackson.
Lee's defense has definitely stepped up here in the second half.
Cookendale looks right, throws right, and that is complete. A fine catch there for the Panthers. The receiver literally looked like he glided into the screen there as he pulled that one down. Short gain on the play, though, so it's 3rd down coming up. 3rd and about 6. Panthers go back to the air. That time is incomplete. Cookendale threw a pretty good ball, but nice hit by the Mustangs defense. Jarred that one loose. 4th down.
That was Aiden Tomlinson on the coverage for the Mustangs to force this 4th down here in the 4th quarter.
And the punt is a short punt. Gets a little bit of a Panther roll, but the Mustangs will still take over with good field position as that ball rests exactly on the 40-yard line. Mustangs take over leading 21-14. And a chance to maybe put this one away. He'll hit behind the line of scrimmage, and the Mustangs have a holding call come against them, so now they are marched back to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, we have Carpino back in at quarterback, so Coach Morrow is definitely rotating the quarterbacks now in this game.
In the meantime, on that end around Fisher, they've ran that play probably about 4 times tonight, and every time it's been very effective for the Mustangs. That one gets them back just past the original line of scrimmage. Carpino on play action. He is looking deep, has a man, and just barely underthrown. Looked like that was Kellenbach, his intended target, so that will be 3rd and 8 coming up here now for the Mustangs. That's maybe the first deep ball we've seen by Carpino. And again, there's that end around the Fisher, and again, it works for the Mustangs. Fisher able to get to the 38-yard line and gets a Mustangs 1st down.
Yeah, Chris, the coaching staff definitely picked up that Peninsula was not picking up the man in motion, I guess, on previous game films, because they have not in any way stopped that play all night. And they really haven't stopped any of the runs, primarily from the Mustangs on the outside or the inside. The Mustang offensive line is really starting to dominate as we see Frank Love a little bit shaken up. It appears to be okay as he jogs off on his own power.
Please look for all the Maricosta booster booths and support your.
Meantime, Mustangs now. Carpino back in the center, I formation. And it looks like, oh, that's Hill. Spins out of the first tackle. Gets about another extra 2 to 3 yards on the move. It's going to bring up a second and, I call it a second and a long one situation. Offset I formation, counterplay. Hill makes, again, a couple of nifty moves and is able to get that Mustangs first down. This might be the best complete game I've seen from Bashan Hill as a Mustang running back. Tavai now in the backfield at the tailback position, trying to pound his way forward. He leaps and gets into the end zone for his second touchdown of the night. Touchdown, Mustangs. Jonah Tavai.
Yeah, that's something you don't see every day, Chris. We'll take another look at it here. The athletic ability by Jonah Tavai. He is a big boy, and he's getting moving here, and he gets to the outside and leaps over the last defender.
For an after attempt, it's up, it's high, it's straight, and it is good. So the score of this contest is now 28-14 Mustangs with the lead with a 5:03 left to go in this contest.
Yeah, and this might be an insurmountable lead for this Peninsula team, as both of their touchdowns were on the result of turnovers by the Mustangs. The interception, the pick six, and then the fumble on the 3-yard line. It's pretty much the only offense this Peninsula team has been able to generate.
Mustangs, meantime, their ground attack has been dominant tonight. All 4 touchdowns, rushing touchdowns. 2 by Tavai, 1 by Hill, and 1 by quarterback Reed Verbrey.
Another nice play by Jonah Tavai making that tackle.
Carpino having some fun there on the sideline, deservedly so, as he's really come in and done a good job here. Again, mentioned earlier, really the first real chance we've gotten a chance to see Carpino in action. He's looked pretty sharp. Definitely an athletic quarterback. Jeremy, what have you thought about Carpino?
Yeah, I definitely like what we saw tonight, Chris. In a key situation, down 14-0 in the second quarter, he led the Mustangs on that long drive at the end and scoring with 17 seconds left in the first half. Again, a great job by Carpino coming in and filling in for the dinged up for Bray. And what I like is the way that both quarterbacks have been working in unison the rest of the way, rotating in and out. It'll be an interesting look for other Bay Leagues to look at as we move forward into Bay League action. Of course, we're back on the road. Who would have thought that? Back to Morningside next week in Inglewood.
So with just about 3 minutes left to go here, Mustangs leading 28-14, take over after the turnover on downs. Of course, Tavai again making a huge play in that sequence on 3rd down, forcing the scramble by Kukendale, not giving him the chance to step up in the pocket to make a throw. Instead, he was forced to scramble. Mustangs came up with a tackle which forced that 4th and long situation. After the incomplete, Mustangs take over. So at this stage, even more than additional touchdowns, Mustangs just looking to kill out this clock.
Yeah, Chris, and that's what a good dominating run offense can do, is kill the clock.
offset I formation. Carpino still in there. And ball was going to go to Hill, but there's a flag on the play.
A set of pink keys. Please bring them to the announcer's booth. Their owner is displaced.
So Mustangs set. Carpino takes the snap, hands off to Hill, pounds his way forward. Great blocking out there. I see Ryan Ohanesian with a key block. Will create still a 4th down situation though for the Mustangs. Ball is spotted at the 37-yard line. It's 4th and 9. 1:32 left to go. Jonah Tavai in there to punt. And looks like the Mustangs are going to count on their defense for one last final stop. Let's see what they can do. Look like that ball may have bounced and hit the Mustangs up, man. Either way, Peninsula is still buried deep into their own side of the field here. Cookendale on the QB keeper, trying to see if he can get something going himself. Gets short yardage, so it gets about 4, so it's 2nd and 6 coming up.
Yeah. Ohanesian was in on that play, 3-year varsity starter for the Mustangs.
Cookendale, meantime, on the roll out right, tried to throw back across his body. Closest receiver was the Mustangs' defensive backfield, so he got lucky that one wasn't picked off. Meantime, on 3rd down, he is hit as he released. That one falls incomplete. Again, the Mustangs with great downfield coverage at the cornerback position, led typically by Everson Franklove as well as Peck. The 4th down situation here. This could be it for the Panthers. Mustangs showing blitz. They bring it. It's complete on the quick hit to Hahn out of the backfield. Boy, what a risky play call by the Panthers coaching staff. 4th and 6, and they hit the quick swing pass to running back out of the backfield, but it worked. It got them that 1st down, so this drive is still alive for the Panthers. Cookendale again scrambles, steps up, throws on the run, and throws short and incomplete. That one was intended for Rosas. So it's 2nd and 10 coming up. Mustang again with the blitz. Cookendale, though, scrambles and dives forward to the 45-yard line. That will be enough for a 1st down. But again, at this stage, Mustangs really not that concerned with 1st downs. It's that big play that they want to make sure they don't give up, as there's only 5.6 seconds left to go here in this contest. So this should be the final play of the game. Here's the snap. Cookendale stops, scrambles, throws, trying to throw deep in the end zone, and that is incomplete. Mustangs win this contest, beating Peninsula by a final score of 28-14. Mustangs trailed at one point 14-0 before scoring 28 consecutive points against the Panthers to pull out this victory.
Yeah, great job by this Mustang team to bounce back from that early 14-0 deficit after those 2 turnovers that resulted in points, and then to come roaring back and score the next 28 points to win this first Bay League game.
Jeremy, you talked about the Mustangs' ability to bounce back. That wasn't the only thing bouncing around out there. Mustangs' power rushing attack was dominant tonight. Both Tavai and Rabre had touchdown runs where they were literally bouncing off and running over defenders. 4 touchdowns for the Mustangs, all 4 on the ground. That will give the Mustangs a 1-0 Bay League record here, and even their overall record 2-4. So the Mustangs now with a 2-game home winning streak.
Well, for me, I remember Coach Aerosmith telling us stories about Chad. All my off seasons, literally like every off season. So even hearing that, I would go home and tell like people I knew about Chad's story and like what he did in like his training camps and stuff. And we all respect him so much, and it's just amazing that he was a part of our team and that we get to play for him.
It means everything. Even though I did not know him personally, he was an American hero, and it's just amazing that we get to honor him in this way. Obviously, it's unfortunate that this happened, but he means everything. We strive to be as great as he was.
Coach Baker, Mustangs came out, had a big win tonight in the Bay League opener. We saw some good play out of 2 quarterbacks. Can you talk about how the offense is going to go moving forward?
Well, Don's calling the offense this year, but I'm helping him out. And yeah, I think we had both Reed and Nick decided to step up and compete a little bit this game. Nick got an opportunity. Reed got a little dinged there in the second quarter. So Nick went in and they both went out and competed in the second half. And, you know, we got a heck of a lot of success out of the second half. So it was a good work for us.